Hello, welcome to the Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of August 2nd, 2018. I'm Rainey, Knudson.
And I'm Brandon Zech.
We are counting down the top 5 art events in Texas this week. So counting down?
We're going to jump in.
We're going to jump in. Number 5 is a charming and crowd-pleasing and heartwarming show. It is 40 years of gifts from Clint Willour to the Museum of Fine Arts Houston, here in Houston. I got to walk through the show with Clint himself, and he talked about the stories behind all these works. Clint, for very many years, was the curator at the Galveston Arts Center, and before that he was in the commercial business. But what this show to me is a testament to is the fact that somebody who isn't necessarily a multimillionaire can have a really wonderful collection and an important impact on artists' lives and on an institution's life through their gifts and through their collecting.
This show is called 40 Years of Collecting, and this is by no means the extent of Clint Willour's collection. He's been gradually gifting works to the Museum of Fine Arts Houston for years, prints, photographs, works on paper, a little bit of everything. And he also has donated thousands of books to the museum's Hirsch Library, which actually are on view in the Hirsch Library during the run of the show. Mm-hmm. So this is a chance to kind of see the amalgamation, the culmination of what Clint has done for Texas and for Houston specifically.
Clint, you're the best. You've helped a lot of artists over the years. It's wonderful to see this show.
Number 4 this week is a show of works by Jimmy Peña at CaseBase Contemporary in Corpus Christi. It's called 100 Portraits in 1 Year. So pretty straightforward. It's portraits that Jimmy Peña has executed probably over the past year. He gave himself the time limitation of that he would do them in an hour. They're kind of installed in grids across the gallery. Some of them are a little more realistic, some of them are a little more fantastical. They all kind of have the same format and pose. So it's a testament really to his ability to manipulate paint on a surface and make it look good.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of show that's a little bit of a curiosity because the artist has put these incredibly severe constraints on himself. It has to be a portrait in this amount of time, and interesting to see how the work evolves over the course of the year.
And Peña has also been an artist at CaseBase Studio for the past 20 years, since 1998, so it's kind of nice to see a show of works by him in a place that he's been for years. Number
3, going south from Corpus to Brownsville, is Ana Fernandez, a show of her still life paintings at the Brownsville Museum of Fine Arts, I think it's called. We have talked about Ana's work a lot on Glasstire. She does these lovely paintings that are observations, usually of spaces, houses, interiors of shops. They're just wonderful observations of quotidian life, and they're a pleasure to see. We're so pleased to include this also because I think the Brownsville Museum is doing some really interesting shows. Seems like there's a strong San Antonio connection there.
Yeah, a number of these works, I believe, were also by Ana Fernandez, were in a show at Cinnabar Gallery recently. The Brownsville Museum also recently had a show of works by Jesse Amato, Joey Farso, Riley Robinson, and Chris Sauter. So, you know, this is kind of it almost seems like a trade-off between the two cities a little bit, but Brownsville's doing good stuff, and, you know, all things considered, it's not that far away. So it's worth going to.
It's closer than El Paso.
It's closer than El Paso to some of Texas.
To some of Texas.
Number 2 this week is a show called Then and Now at Artpace. I saw this show. I didn't know it was up when I visited, and I was so pleased by it. It's works by Texas artists, San Antonio artists, who are alumni of the Artpace International Artist in Residence program. And a lot of these artists, I think, were residents pretty early on. So it's a little bit, you know, over a turn of a homecoming, I guess you could call it. Some works that were, you know, made during the residency program, and some works that are new. The artists are Angel Rodriguez Diaz, Constance Lowe, John Hernandez, Kathy Vargas, and Ken Little. And I have to say, the most striking thing in the stairwell of Artpace, there's a piece by Angel Rodriguez Diaz, a panel from an installation that was plastered across the side of Artpace's building that was made out of Christmas lights, and it was a self-portrait. And because, of course, they can't fit this whole installation inside the building, there's this one panel which is just the center part of his face hung up in the stairwell. And it's beautiful and striking, and the eyes are blinking on and off, and it's just a great piece. It's worth going to see this piece alone.
And number one this week is a show that neither of us have actually seen yet, but we're very keen to see. It is a show of conceptual works from the Latin American collection at the Blanton Museum in Austin. These are drawn from the 60s and 70s. It's in their what's it called? The drawing gallery upstairs?
It's in their paper vault space.
Paper vault space.
Which was kind of a new... When the Blanton redid their gallery spaces, they kind of dedicated certain sections to certain things, and every show that I've seen in the paper vault space obviously works on paper mostly, has been amazing, and I'm sure this exhibition is no exception.
Yeah, it's photography, poems, Xeroxes, all kinds of ephemera, mail art, but there's an emphasis on drawings in this show. And it's, again, 60s and 70s, very politicized, very political work. I'm imagining super utopian, socialist kind of Latin American stuff that if you could go back and talk to these artists and tell them what happened in some of these countries in the 80s, they would be disappointed by the outcome. But it would still be super interesting to see these conceptual works. So I'd love to see this. It's only on view till the end of August.
There's only a little bit of summer left.
Boy, we are down to the wire. It's August now. Our fall preview will be coming towards the end of the month, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, loll around, drink something cold, and go see some art.
Go see some art.